Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth video of DevOps Expert series. I'm glad that you are here and you still choose to be the expert. I assure you again, once you complete this series, you will be well informed about DevOps workflow and also have skills to use tools that are necessary for successful practice of DevOps lifecycle. Again, I repeat, DevOps is not a combination of tools, but rather a mindset of constant iteration and improvement. To be a good DevOps engineer, you should practice the art of process improvement and enhancement. It's always about seeing a bigger picture of the work that your team or organization performs, thinking about ways to improve that workflow. Being open to using different tools available at your disposal rather than just sticking with the same old tool and freely letting that creativity out of you will often give you the best solution. So always be a learner, my friends. With that, let us begin to work. So here is our agenda for today. First of all, we'll go ahead and spin up our virtual machine, which we created from last time. And if you do not have a virtual machine or you do not know how to spin up one, please watch my earlier video. That should help you set up a virtual machine on your AWS account for free. Once we spin up our instance, we'll go ahead and set up GitHub account. It's a free process. It won't cost you anything, and you will have your account set up in the remote host. Once we have the GitHub account created, we'll set up a repository which we will use for our subsequent tasks. Once we create a remote repository, we'll go ahead and create an access token that is helpful for authenticating our local machine so that it helps us to push our code from our local machine to the remote server. Once we go ahead and complete those tasks, then we will set up working directory on our machine. We will initialize Git. We will create a local repo. We will add our changes, stage, and commit our changes. And we will configure our local repo, and we will also push our changes from local repo to the remote repo. So this is we do all of this process to complete this last task because for this we need to have a remote repo first, and then we need to do all this configuration on our local machine so we are able to push the change. So for this I created a small mnemonics here. It might be helpful for someone who is completely new to git command. So this is git add command, ACPU. So we remember it as ACPU, git add, git commit, and git push. And one interesting thing I want to try out for this video is I want to see if ChatGPT can help us accomplish this task, or let's say if ChatGPT can help us understand the workflow, Git workflow. Uh, so we will try creating an account in ChatGPT and see if it can help us better understand Git workflow or not. So that is the agenda for today. So I'm logged into my AWS account. So all I need to do is I need to go into the EC2 instance section. I go and find my virtual machine. So DevOps Git, I click that one. I'll go to instance state and I'll start the instance. So it will take me probably a minute to start off this instance. So while I'm spinning up my instance, setting up GitHub account is we'll just look for uh, GitHub sign up, and then you'll go ahead and do the join in. Sorry, I'm already logged in here, so I'll go ahead and click the sign up button, and it will ask you for your email address, which I already have done it. So it's the DevOps nscious at gmail.com. So I've already created this, so let me try with just this one. Let's say continue, and then you'll create a password. Let's say it's something like that. I'll continue, and then let's say I will give a user as DevOps King 12, and then it'll go continue, and I don't need any update. Continue, and then it'll ask me for a small puzzle here. So to identical objects. So this is this one, and one square that shows two identical objects. This one, and then once I do that, I hit the create button, and it will send me a code in this email address, and I'll just paste this code, and I should be able to access my account. Um, so it should be pretty straightforward. I've already done this, so I'm just gonna log into my repository. So that is the next task. Um, so now we have our GitHub account set up. So before we go ahead and log into our virtual machine, let us also create sign up to ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a OpenAI project. So you go to ChatGPT sign up, and you should have a sign up option here, and go back sign up. So you will just sign up with your email address. So you'll just go DevOps. I already have done this process, so I'm just um, showing this to you. It's pretty straightforward. CIOUS at gmail.com. So let me put here again something 12. So you'll just continue, and then you'll create a password. I say DIOPP, something like that, and then you'll continue, and you should be able to log in to your account pretty easily. So you should get an email notification, and you should be able to access the chat GPT. So I just wanted to get this sign up process done. So now let us go back to our instance, and we see that our instance is already up and running. So I hope you remember how to SSH into our instance. So I just go here, I hit the connect button, and SSH client, and I should have this command ready. I'll just copy that command, and I'll go to my git bash, and oh, I'm still logged in from my last time, so I'll go to home folder. So I go to cd. So my key, my PEM file is in the download folder, so that's why um, I logged myself in. I cd to the download folder, and I do the paste, and I enter, and yes, voila, now I'm logged into my virtual machine. So let's see if I should be up. I see my folder there which I created on my last video. So we have created our GitHub repo. I'm logged into my virtual machine, and I've also set up my ChatGPT account. So we're all good there. So now let us go to the command. So now I'm logged into my GitHub account. So I can see my name here, DevOps King 90. And I see that I do not have any repository yet. So repository is where your code resides on the GitHub host server. So now let us go ahead and create our first repository. So we'll just hit the create button, and let me give this a name, DevOps, DevOps, DevOps Git, and this is DevOps Git first. So let me also give some description. This is the GitHub demo for the DevOps expert series session. So from now on, I'll also go ahead and start pushing all my code and all my notes in the GitHub repository. So if you want to fork or you want to access this, I can also share you the links. So that is also helpful for the coming up sessions. So I will set this as public for now and initialize the Git repository. So add a README file. I'll just ignore for that one. And I'll later down the line, I'll show you how we will actually use this README file for our real use case. So it's helpful to create one. So just that, and then I'm just gonna create a repository, and easy as it is. So it's already here. And the good thing is, if you see here, it already gives you um, the command. So it will tell you, like, once you set up your repository, GitHub is very gentle and kind for us to share all the code. So um, if we look here properly, but the thing is, initially, even after reading this line, this command line, I was still confused because um, as a beginner, I had no idea how to even use this. So that's the reason I think uh, I'm just gonna show you like some of the steps so that it'll be a little bit more helpful for you. So we have our first repository set. So if you go here now, you'll see DevOps Kit 1. So that first part of our task is done. So I realized that we are going a little longer over the time. So let me divide up this video. So now what we have done so far is we have already created a repo. We have the token which we're going to use to push our code. And we also have our VM setup, and we have um, our files created. So next step, what we're going to do is we are going to run these commands, and we will push our changes to our remote repository. So that's the plan for the next video. So thank you everyone who have been following me up to this point, and congratulations. Now you have a remote GitHub account, as well as you have installed Git on your virtual machine, and you have everything ready to move your code from your local repo to your remote repo. So let's get to the next step. See you soon. Bye bye.